Anything that requires you to dishonor yourself means there are a lack of boundaries, and a lack of boundaries is a recipe for a disaster. Now, many of us have been there a time or two in our lives, or multiple times, or some of us may be struggling with that today, because it is a constant daily practice on not saying yes to everything, not people pleasing, and understanding that you cannot be everything to everybody. Especially as women, just culturally and historically, we've been wired to do so. We've been wired to accommodate people and to wear so many hats. And of course, that comes with a price. And the price is you saying yes way more to others than you say yes to yourself. And I was thinking that I know I'm veering away from mortgages a little bit, but not really. Because I was thinking, after I posted last week's video about 7 money habits that keep you poor, I was thinking about so many different topics and factors that are directly tied to housing and to wealth and to personal finance. So I'm like, we cannot talk about money, like how to make money, how to build your legacy, etc., without talking about the socioeconomic or the psychological or the cultural norms that are driving that dictate the behavior. Let's say someone who doesn't have the means like that, they go out and buy a Gucci item, right? Because in my last video, I referenced Gucci a lot. They're not buying the Gucci item because they're like, oh yeah, this Gucci belt is gonna look so good with this outfit, or these Gucci slides, oh yeah, that's gonna make that pop. They're not buying it for that. They are buying that item that they cannot afford because psychologically, they're like, if I rock this, if I wear these red bottoms, if I do this, I'm going to be accepted by a certain group of people. You guys, that is the same concept of not having healthy boundaries or being a people pleaser. I'm going to say yes to this person even though I really don't want to do it because they're going to accept me more. They're the same. I want you to definitely drop me some comments below or give me a thumbs up, give me a like on if I'm going in the right direction, if you guys like to hear about things like this. So without further ado, let's dive into all these juicy details. So first, we got to clearly define what are boundaries. Boundaries are, the Webster definition is limits or guidelines that you establish for what you deem acceptable or unacceptable for you. The key words in this definition is you, yourself, you. This is the one time where it is absolutely about you. I know we've been trained and we've been conditioned to, share, be humble, and I agree with all those things. However, I can't serve you or help you before I help myself. That is the key takeaway in this. You do not honor someone else before you honor yourself. Because without boundaries, now your money's out of control. Your relationships are out of control. The people you attract are out of control because you can't clearly define what it is you want. And so that leads me to the first point is, who are you? Think about this. Not what you do for a living, not are you a mom, are you a wife? I'm not asking about roles. What is important to you? What are your beliefs? What are your core values? What is your personality type? Having a level of self-awareness means you have a high emotional intelligence. Frankly, when you have a higher emotional intelligence, people can't play with you, personally and professionally. And let me tell you, in this self-awareness practice, you have to be very specific. This is not a time to be vague. This is not a time to play with yourself. I came across this article by a doctor that said, when you are vague about yourself, that is an avoidance tactic. For example, being too vague with yourself. And remember, this practice is about saying no to yourself and saying no to your others, which I'm going to elaborate in a second. Being too vague will get you hemmed up. So for example, let's say someone at work messed up a report and now you have to do 10 more steps to make up for what they did and you're pissed. And so this person comes along, they're like, la la la, hey, what's up with you? How you doing? And your response is, oh, I'm just stressed. No. That is an avoidance thing that you're doing with yourself. Boundaries is all this stuff is mirroring. How you treat yourself is how others are going to treat you. Or the fact that you're not aware to just establish your feelings. You watering down the fact that you're pissed is training your brain to essentially avoid how you feel. Avoiding your feelings, which we know feelings are just temporary. They don't define who you are. So it's not the kiss of death having a bad feeling at a moment in time. But avoiding how you feel is training your brain to not care about how you feel and to not be aware of how you feel. And then going back to the self-awareness, if you are training yourself to not be aware of how you feel, how can you train yourself on boundaries, or how can you train other people how to treat you? I'm April lender / doctor right now. So you see why self-awareness is so key, because now you are aware of what you want, what feels good to you, what doesn't feel good to you. Then you can effectively communicate that to others and yourself. No is a complete sentence. It does not require an explanation after it. The only thing that should come after a no is a period. And especially, I was thinking, especially if you have a type A personality like myself, if you're an extrovert, if you are just vibrant and in your face type of person, I found that some people expect you to say yes. For instance, when I look back at some things, you know, and it still happens today sometimes. People say, oh, come with me to this event. No. Oh, come with us out for drinks after this event. No. Oh, man, April, for real? Listen, I'm polite, not rude. I'm happy, not dumb. If that's not what I want to do, it ain't what I want to do. You can be nice and still not want to follow somebody else's agenda. Like, come on, guys. And I'm sure my extroverts out there can relate to that. It's like so annoying, to be honest. You got to just shut that stuff down. And let me tell you, every time you say no, it builds up your cup of confidence, your cup of worth, your cup of trust. Because the thing is, when you say yes, when you don't want to say yes, you are lying to yourself. When you lie to yourself, that is the ultimate source of lack of confidence. When you say you're going to the gym and you don't go to the gym, you're lying to yourself. Your confidence goes boom. So when it comes time to saying, oh yeah, I'm going to build my business to $100,000 a month, where do you think your mindset is going to be? Your mind is going to be programmed like, nope, she been telling me she's going to do all type of stuff and she never does it. And that's how these boundaries tie to money. How can you carry through business plans and you can't even tell somebody, no, I don't want to go to that restaurant. I'm good at that because I'm a food guy. If it ain't hitting, I'm not going. This comes with daily practice. Especially, I think, as moms, I think the wanting to accommodate people goes up even another level. Let's talk about the professional boundaries. Saying no in the workplace is huge, because really the ambition is to work smarter, not harder. So the people who are like, oh, I work 80 hours a week. No. What virtue is that? Think about this. I know there was a time where a client came your way, or maybe a project came across your desk, and you're like, so I'm gonna speak from a lender perspective, and you're like, okay, this person calls me at 7 o'clock in the morning, strike. this person is very entitled, strike, and this person really isn't in my niche, but I'm going to work with them for the betterment of society. After all, I am here to help people, get into their homes no matter what. Hold on. Do you hear yourself? No, you guys heard, if you serve all, you serve none. That is the exact same thing as the boundaries. Your boundaries, your business model, whatever you want to call it, have to be established, because guess what? Now that person, that client, or that project that you just took on is about to take you to hell and back. Personal boundaries. Now, I saw something on social media that really touched me, and it was a post. I can't think of her name right now. It was a post where she said, not sharing everything on social media is a boundary in itself. I was like, wow. I gotta admit, a couple of my favorite people I follow, influencers that I follow, I feel like they were just sharing more and more and more. And I remember one of them was like, share your pain. Share your pain. That's how you get over it. And I was like, and I was almost going to share something thinking like, oh, this could really help someone. This could touch someone. It could make me more relatable. But then I snapped out of it real quick. Having certain boundaries, especially as a marketer, I like to call them non-negotiables. You should have 3 non-negotiables that you absolutely do not want to talk about. And think about it this way. Celebrities do it all the time. Athletes do it all the time. When they're working with their public relations team, there are just some things that they don't talk about. Hell, look at Beyonce. Beyonce's like, no, I'm a performer. I'm an artist. That's it. Because the last thing you want to do is destroy your peace or destroy your home doing something. Once again, that's doing something to please others versus pleasing yourself. And frankly, I think it's just classier to keep some things to yourself. Keep some of your private life private. I hope I was able to tie the two together, your money and your boundaries, because those boundaries that you're going to set, whether it's personal or professional, that definitely, all that ties to how are you spending money, who are you building relationships with, who are you attracting, how are you attracting money. And that comes from having that self-awareness, and that's saying what you're going to welcome into your life and what you're not going to welcome into your life. So until next time, my friends, I will be dropping another video next week. By all means, share this video with a friend and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until next time, peace.